Hi guys, welcome to Nene Math. It's me, Nene, and today we're going to talk about the introduction to polynomials and FOIL. But you might be wondering, what does all of this mean? So that's why we're going to start with the basics before we move on to polynomials and FOIL. So let's start off with a term. So I'm going to write an example, 2x plus 4. So 4 is going to be our first term or second term, the order doesn't matter. So they are both terms, 2x and 4, and you can tell this by the operation of addition, since they are both separated. 2x may seem like two terms, but it isn't, since they are both connected from multiplication, and 4 is just a single digit, or as you can say, a constant. So now we are done with terms, we are going to use this knowledge to apply to monomials. So as you can see with the prefix of mon, this means 1. So you can tell that there's going to be one term. So you can say any number, for example 7, that can be a term. You can also say 4x squared. There's no operation in any of these monomials. So this makes you understand that this is a monomial. So applying the same knowledge of a term, we are going to learn what a binomial is. So looking at the prefix bi, you can understand that there are two terms. And unlike a monomial, these terms are separated by an operation sign. So for example, let me write 6x minus 8. That is a binomial since there are two terms where 6x can be our first term and 8 is our second term, which is being separated by our subtraction sign. Now, applying the same knowledge, we're going to move on to trinomials, where tri means 3. So that's why we know there are 3 terms. And that means there are going to be 2 operation symbols separating each term. So I'll just write 1 first term plus 2 minus 3. So there are 3 terms. 1 being the first, 2 being the second, and 3 being the third. Now, for polynomials, if you apply the same knowledge of the prefix and what a term is, you can look at the prefix poly, and you will understand that poly means many. So that means there are going to be many terms. Now, with all this knowledge, we can apply this to the FOIL method. As you can see here, there are 2 binomials, 1, 2 terms, times 1, 2 terms. So I'm just going to write binomials, times another binomial. I'll just write binom for short. You might be wondering, how do we multiply these two? There's many ways you can try, but it will not work out. So this is why we use the FOIL method. So I'm going to break down this acronym. F means first, O means outer, I is inner, and finally L is last. So now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply. For the first step, we're going to multiply the first term with the second of the first binomial with the first term of the second binomial. So we get 6x squared. And now we're going to do the outer step where we take the first term of the first binomial times the second term of the second binomial. So we get 3x times negative 1. That's negative 3x, And now for the inner step, we take the second term of the first binomial and multiply it by the first term of the second binomial. So 4 times 2x is negative 8x. And our last step, we are going to take the second term of our first binomial and the second term of our second binomial, so which is 4 times negative 1, and that is going to be plus positive 4. And all we have to do, now that we have done our steps, we just have to combine our like terms, and 6x squared does not have any like terms, so we just leave it the same. Negative 3x and negative 8x are both like terms, so we have negative 11x, and 4 doesn't have any. So that is our final answer. I hope you liked my video. I'll see you next time. Bye!